Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Lone Oak Farm. It is the final day of autumn here in year 2, and before we do anything else we have to kind of take some care of our dairy herd. They're running very low on food, so we need to kind of jump on that and get that dealt with. Luckily we have a very large supply of pre-made TMR. So feeding them should be a nice quick process in terms of that, but obviously we also need to feed them a fair bit of grass as well. That's going to take a little bit longer. I do have a weight lurking around somewhere, and I can't remember where I put it. I think I'm looking for that. Do I have lights in here? I don't think I do I? Oh, I do. Where's my light switch? It's all the way down here, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Excellent stuff. Right, doors open. That's a big pile of poo. We're gonna have to clean that out. That's something else to add to the to-do list today, is muck out the cows. Let's deal with this bit of mess first of all. Yeah, you might well moo. These little bits that they've thrown out. There we go. That is a big pile of poo. Gonna have to deal with that. Right, let's take a quick look at their overview. So you can see grass, silage, hay, power food, straw. Water's not too bad, but everything else pretty poor. So that all needs to be dealt with. There is our supply of TMR. Nice little pre-made mix here. Let's try and get some extra light on the situation. There we go. So the plan of action today is to finish off the mowing for the bunker by doing field 24, which is the one, that's right, field 44, which is just here. And then just out of sight. Let's see if I can see the headlights going up and down. Not yet. He must be at the top of the hill. Yeah, he's turning around. He's about to come back down again. The Magnum is a little bit further up there. He is starting to cultivate away for me on field 45, so we can get that field cleaned. We need to do a little bit more cultivating today as well. We're also going to spread some digestate on the fields, and I have about 130,000 litres, I think it is, maybe a little bit more, of digestate left at the PGA. So enough to do a field or two, depending on which field we go with. And I've got about 70,000 litres of slurry. I think it's not much. Yeah, 71,500 litres of slurry that the cows have produced so far. Not a massive amount. I'm expecting that to go up a bit over winter. We're going to start producing a lot of manure over the winter. We're going to go through our straw a lot faster, because it's colder, so the cows will be spending a lot more time indoors than they would in the warmer periods of the year, like summer. So we kind of need to stockpile where we can, ready for the real big sort of injection of slurry and digestate in the new year, in spring next year, or maybe sort of towards the end of winter. The BGA itself, we're probably, as I say, not going to be shoveling our silage until the end or the last part of winter, maybe day 4, maybe day 5, more likely day 5. Is the day that we'll be selling our silage, because, you know, it's going to take me a couple of days to ferment it all. So if we get the grass in today and we get the bunker kind of compacted down today, then that's going to be ready sort of around the time that we're getting into our crop selling windows. And I don't want to be distracted from selling my crops by worrying about what fields need to be spreaded and so on and so forth, and trying to sell slurry. Trying to sell my silage on day 2, day 3, and possibly even day 4. When those are the days I've got to be paying, close attention to the markets, watching them like a hawk for when they're going to, rise and fall, and find the best windows to sell. We got a lot more product to sell this year than we had last year, so we're going to have to spread it over a couple of different days per crop. I think each crop is going to need to be spread over 2 days. So we're really going to have to watch the market very, very closely, find out exactly when the best time to sell is going to be. You can see I've got a large chunk of money in the account as well. I drew some out last night from the bank, so the loan has gone back up again. This is because the contractors are coming out today, and we'll be building the new enclosure for our combines. So I'm hoping that'll be kind of ready towards the end of the day, if not tomorrow, and we'll get that paid for once it's done. And then we'll be able to relocate our combines and our headers over to the new area, free up some space around the farm, and just reorganise our equipment a little bit. I am going to be looking at maybe refreshing little bits of our equipment lineup for next year, just more with a view on slot counts than anything else. We've got around about 70 slots left, and that's it. And it has caused us a few lag issues this year as a result of having so few slots left. So what I might do is just see if there's any bits of equipment that I can maybe swap out for something that has a lower mod requirement or a lower slot requirement. Maybe something that is something I can duplicate. Getting caught there. There we go, we're out. Can't believe we've burnt through this entire stash pretty much of TMR, and the cows still aren't full. I think we might have to knock this shed down and build a much larger facility, maybe even build a silo. It was something I hadn't really wanted to do, but I think we might have to. The cows, we've only got, what, 79 cows or so? They are going through our TMR very, very quickly. So we're going to have to make, very, very large batches if we're going to, stay ahead like this, or spend an awful long time just, putting bales through the mixer, just a couple of bales at a time. It'll take us forever to feed them every time we need to feed them. And that's obviously something that isn't going to be too much of an issue over winter, when we're not going to have massive amounts to do. We're going to have short bursts of activity, and then, kind of periods of inactivity. But, yeah, look at that. We almost filled the trough. That's not too bad. But apart from that, spring is going to be a bit hectic with planting and fertilising as well, getting our fields slurried. Summer is going to be hectic with grass work and, depending on what grass work we decide to end up doing, and also with fertilising and spraying and stuff. And then autumn, it's going to be full on with the harvest again. So we kind of need to streamline. Oh, there it is. I wonder where the weight was. Oops. Get that hooked up. There we go. And yeah, autumn we need to streamline everything for the harvest again, because you saw how potentially rushed we could have been this year. And we could be in just as bad a situation next year, so if not worse, depending on what crops we go with and whether we take on any additional land or not. I don't think we will. I think we've got more than enough land now. We could add an extra field or two, but I don't think we will. Yeah, that's 3 bales. Is that enough? Yes, 3 bales is enough. So it's just the grass now that we need to deal with. Let's fold the forks up. There we go. In fact, we shouldn't need the Puma for pretty much anything else now. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably leave the front loader attached. Let's go get the water trough. We'll give them a quick, or the water trailer, we'll give them a quick top up on water as well, just so we can try and get everything kind of mashed up, or meshed up, you know, and synced up. And then we'll break out the little mower. And this will be the last time that we get to feed them grass this year as well. So what I'll do is at the very end of the day as well, I'll come back and I'll just top their grass trough up a little bit more, just to max it out, because all the grass is going to die at midnight, and that's it. No more grass until mid-spring, when we'll get some growth back. Maybe a little bit quicker than mid-spring, but certainly into spring before we'll get grass back and be able to feed grass to our cows again. So we'll need to make sure that we've maxed out the grass trough. Of course, if we were to build a silo, then we could, you know, store grass in the silo. I don't really want to do that with this particular farm, and we've done it in the past. This one I'd rather try to avoid doing that, so we're going to kind of just play it by ear and see what happens. Hopefully their health isn't going to go down too much, if at all. I mean, they'll still be getting straw, they'll still be getting their water, their TMR, they'll be getting everything except grass, and hopefully they won't go down. But I mean, grass is 20% of their food mix, so it is possible that they may lose a little bit of health over winter. I just hope that's not the case. Right. Oh, actually, I'll leave that open because I need to come back in with the mower, don't I? Right. We'll just leave the trough there for now, or the water trailer there for now. I'm going to jump into the mower. Mow up some sections of these bits of grass around here. Dump that into the cow trough. And then from there we will break into the big mower. As you can see, it's already out and parked up ready with the mower attachment there. And we'll start work on field 44 and start transferring grass over to the BGA, ready to finish off that bunker. Okay, that is just about good enough, I think. So, cows are taken care of. Let's check on the progress of the Magnum. Oh, looks like he's finished. We're going to have to tidy up sections of that field, so there's stuff that we're going to have to do manually to finish off field 45. I did a little bit of prep work before setting him off. And then mowing. So let's get the mowing started while we finish things off. So we'll get this put away back in its little hidey hole. Sometimes I wish this thing would go go faster than 9 miles an hour. It is a little bit slow. You can see we still have that sort of damp crop symbol showing. It doesn't matter now today. The rain fell very early this morning. I'm not entirely sure exactly what time, but it was very, very early. And you know, it had long since stopped by the time we got up. So no more rain scheduled for today. We do have rain scheduled for tomorrow. Again, the rain doesn't matter now. You know, we've reached the point where, you know, everything that we needed to get done that could have been affected by rain has been done. So now we are sort of free and clear. So let's get this headland in. We'll need to do a couple of passes along here. Well, probably more than a couple of passes, but we'll get this area done. Start running up and down the field. I suppose we could save a bit of time and run the rollers over this today as well. although I suppose I could do that tomorrow. I wonder, if I roll these today and then they die, would that change the field state, because it is a new transition tomorrow? Would I be able to put a second stage of fertiliser on? I might have to roll this field today and then see if I can roll it again tomorrow, just out of curiosity. See whether or not it would actually let me do that. That's something else we can try. Another little experiment we can carry out. See if it'll actually let us do that. So, right, the Magnum. Let's find the Magnum. Let's teleport our way over to the Magnum. I don't like to teleport that often, but we'll do it today because I'm just, I don't know, feeling a little bit tired, and we've worked really hard over the last few days to get everything done. So I think I'm going to have a lazy day today where I just teleport between bits of equipment rather than walking and running between stuff. You'll have to forgive me for being lazy. Like I said, we've worked so hard. I just want to take it easy for today. So yeah, just this little section here to do, a little couple of triangles around the corner, then we can set this off on another field, and then we'll break out the Optum and we'll start putting some digestate down on a couple of our fields. Now, as I say, we have a limited supply, somewhere around 130, maybe up to 160,000 litres. Not a lot. That's what's at the BGA. I think we've got a little bit left in the tank as well. Maybe about 11,000 litres left in the tank itself. So that's going to be a little bit extra, but it's not going to get a lot done in the grand scheme of things. A couple of small fields it'll get done, maybe one of the larger fields. I don't think it's enough to do multiple fields. So we'll have to wait until we sell a load more digestate. We do have a little bit of slurry, as I said, about 70,000 litres, but that's not much at all. That's a drop in the ocean compared to what we're going to need to actually put a stage down on all of our fields. So we'll just bank that. We'll let that sit there, and we'll add to it over winter, and we'll see where we end up. We're going to get a lot of digestate from our silage. We're going to have, I don't know, upwards of 3 million litres to shovel through in terms of silage, and that's going to produce an awful lot of digestate. So we'll see how much of that we end up with. We may well fill the tank. It's entirely possible. I'm not quite sure what the conversion rate is between digestate, silage going in and digestate coming out. I'm not quite sure what the ratio is. How much silage you have to put through to get X amount of digestate. I suppose, if we had a baseline figure, we could kind of track it and see what we end up with, and try and work out a conversion rate. Another little experiment we could do. We're just getting all scientific today, aren't we? All these different experiments we're suddenly coming up with, trying to be information gathering and accurate. I don't know where this is all coming from. It's just these ideas just suddenly hit me sometimes. Right, what field do I want to do next? That's not the right map. That's the right map. Fields 53, 54 and 50 are the last ones that are going to need to be cultivated. So let's start with field 53, I think. No, 51. No, I was right, 53. I was right with the first time. Field 53. That's this one here. We'll get started with this field. And just in case he decides he wants to start wandering across onto a field that we don't know, we'll start at the bottom edge. Because you know what the AI is like. They tend to take the initiative sometimes. And sometimes it's just better that they don't. And they just stick to their instructions. You can see there a little patch that got slurried one time that was not requested. Accidentally slurried part of another field, or maybe sprayed. It might have been sprayed. I think it was slurry. And of course, that's a dead field. We can't use that, so wasted a little patch there before I caught it. Didn't do much. But yeah, we'll cultivate this field, and then we'll do the next field after that. How is our mower getting on? Not too bad. Okay, so let's cycle through to one of our trucks. Which truck shall we use today? Red or black? Red or black? Let's see. Let's go red. We'll stick with the red truck. Maybe we could alternate. Maybe we could do part of the field with the red, part of the field with the black. Who knows? We're just kind of freestyling it a little bit today. Not really thinking this one out in too much detail. Sometimes I really do like to plan ahead when it comes to these episodes. And I'm just kind of riding a little bit of a high at the moment, you know. We just hit 5k subs. And just before I started recording this, the channel passed 1 million views. So I'm kind of riding a high at the moment, and I'm just enjoying the moments. You know, I'm not thinking too far ahead like I usually do with these episodes. I know what we have to get done today, and it's not a massive amount. So I'm just trying to, I don't know, have a little bit more fun today, I think. So we'll carry on doing a bit more mowing and start transferring this grass over, and then we'll spend a bit of time in the pit. We'll get the new stuff going in, condensed down, and hopefully we'll be in a position to blanket that silo today. If not, we can always come back and finish compacting tomorrow and then blanket tomorrow. As I say, we're looking at around day 5 when we want to actually go ahead and start selling off that silage. So yeah, we'll do that, and then hopefully the constructors or the construction crew will have made some good progress in that section over there by the end of the day as well. So I'll see you in a little while. Rollers are on standby for when we've made a bit more progress with the mowing. We've done 2 full trailers so far, and we're close to getting our 3rd trailer's worth of grass ready. But it's time to get the fertilising underway. So I'm going to quickly do these little sections either side of the tree. Yeah, the lone oak itself. And we've almost finished cultivating away on field 53 as well, so we'll then move the Magnum onto 54, get that cultivating away on there as well. And then I think the only field that will need cleaning after that will be the big one, field 50. So all of that will be out of the way. It'll then just be a case of kind of fertilising and cultivating the cover crop as well. So we'll put a single sort of application down here, this way, and when we get to the end, we'll go back. We'll do the other side of the tree, and then we should be able to let this worker loose. They'll be able to just do what they need to do. There you can see the worker just turning around for the final pass to finish off field 53. So we'll set him loose on 54 in a moment. I don't know how much digestate I'm going to need. As you can see, I've got 13,000 litres left. 3,000 of that is in the front tank there. That will go in the front tank. The rest is in the main unit at the back there. And then we're taking directly from the digestate tank at the BGA, as we usually do, just because it takes too long. It's too far a journey to keep bringing trucks back and forth to manually refill. I am toying with the idea of perhaps using some storage tanks for next year. Have those dotted around. So there are a couple that we could look at. They are... I use these all the time actually in 15, and I haven't used them at all in 17. But there's the Garant FRCs. Obviously these are one of the things that we've seen a fact sheet on for the new FS17 fact sheets. I could invest in a couple of those. They hold 55,000 litres each. It's not a massive amount, but we could get a few of those lined up somewhere, and then just fill up into those and then position them in certain locations and kind of have mobile top-up points. That's something we could think about for next year, but I don't know, I might save that for a different Let's Play. I might just use those in 19. I don't know yet. I'm an R over that over the winter as to whether or not I want to invest in them. Helper F has completed their task. That will be the Magnum. Yeah, that's the Magnum. So, oh, wrong way. There we go. Let's get the Magnum turned around. Just fold the cultivator up just so it doesn't keep pitching me into a spin like that. There we go. We need to go and put a headland in at the far end of the field because we have Hollister potatoes and sugar beets at the end there. And that is very, very close to the edge of the field, so that's going to cause issues turning around. So a single headland hopefully will resolve that issue, and then we'll get the worker just unleashed on this field. We'll let him go crazy and do what he needs to do to get it done, and I'll see how he handles the islands when he gets to those. And obviously we'll have some tidying up to do on that one, but we'll kind of just we'll take our hands off the wheel a little bit for that one and see what he does. I'm curious as to how much of it he'll actually do without manual interference. Let's get them folded again. Drop the cultivator down. There we go. I think I might need to do 2 headlands actually. I don't think one's going to be enough. I did 2 last time by the look of it. Or at least, no, that's the planting, isn't it? You can see the single width of planting. That was enough for 18 metres. I'm not sure this is going to be enough. It might be. But I'm not. I'll play it safe. I'll do 2 just to be on the safe side. In fact, you know, we're living dangerously today. Let's just do the 1. Let's see what happens. Because I am genuinely curious. I don't know if he'll make it or not. It is a bit tight, and if we have to come back and do an extra width at the end, so be it. Right, he is doing that. How is our slurrying coming along? Good so far. This is the crucial bit. Will he just go straight along at the top of the tree, or is he going to stop and turn? Keep going. Go on. Keep going. He's going to go all the way through. Fantastic. Right, because our digestate supply is very limited, and I don't want him to just go off onto a weird tangent if he gets to the edge of a field and clips the next one, which, you know, let's face it, he's done pretty much every other time we've left him alone to just do what he does. We will go and put a manual end at the other end of the field, and then he'll just have a nice sort of width to work inside, and that way there's no risk of him overlapping onto the neighbouring fields and putting digestate down in an odd place. There we go. So we'll move, as I say, to this far end, and then we can just leave him be then, because he'll just work from that far end all the way back to that bit which he's just done and stop. Which will make things nice and simple. There we go. Right. So, the mower, I think, should be ready to empty by now. He looks it. Yeah. Okay, so let's get the truck. Let's get that lined up. This will be load number 3. There's the rollers standing by, ready to be unleashed. I'll do the same again. I'll kind of chop the field into 2 pieces and start him off once we get onto the second part of the field. Just transfer the grass. There we go. Yeah, it's fully unloaded. The capacity of this trailer is slightly higher than our truck trailer there. Get the worker rehired, and off we go to the BGA again. So far so good. Looks like one headland was enough after all. Although, things may change. We'll see. But so far, as I say, so far so good. So we've started taking from the supply in the tank. So the question is now, can I get this field finished? I don't think I'll be able to get it done with the remaining 10,000 litres. We have that thin strip, which means I'm going to need 2 passes. So we're probably going to have to dip into the slurry supply just to finish this field off. I can't... I would like to manually keep some of this if I could, but I can't. You can't mix digestate and slurry in the same tank, so I have to completely empty all of the digestate out the back of this before I can put slurry in. That's not going to be a problem. That's going to happen very, very quickly. As you can see, that's going down very fast. But once that happens, I'm hopeful that I can just hire a worker to take directly from the slurry tank. If not, I mean, I suppose I can always drive back to the farm, it's not too far, and then fill up with some slurry to do that strip. But it does mean that this might well be the only field that we get done today. I'm looking, and I don't think I'm going to have enough slurry from the cows to do either of those 2 fields over there, 53 or 54, and they're probably the smallest fields that I have that still need some kind of fertilisation put on them. You can see the other fields that I've got there. 43 is a big field, 53 and 54, that might possibly be the smallest. 48 is a big field, 50 is a massive field, there's no way 70,000 litres will do that. So I think this could be it for the day for slurrying, which would be a shame. I was hoping I could maybe get a little bit more done. Never mind, we'll just have to kind of wait a few days, wait till springtime, or at the very least the end of winter, and put some digestate down again once we've processed all of our silage through the BGA. So, worker's going to turn, he's going to carry on working, but once he runs out and stops, will he then restart? Sometimes when you get a thin strip like this, the worker just refuses to work, and if that's the case... Actually, I wonder, can I get him to automatically... Oop, that's the wrong thing, isn't it? Oh no, I've got to manually switch this over. I was hoping I could get him to just go from one tank straight to the next one, but I can't. Slurry and digestate, they're all fall under the same category, so yeah, just have to wait for this to empty, which will be any second now. And there we go. No more digestate. So if I switch this now to buy from the cow slurry tank, oh, it will work. Okay. So sometimes when you get a thin strip like that, the worker just won't take the job on. He'll just say, has completed his task. He just won't do it. Luckily, we seem to have enough of a width for him to actually do the job. So we'll get him to do this one single pass. Just got another worker message pop up. Oh, worker J has decided to switch over to a different field. Okay, well, I was going to manually transfer him onto this field. He's just moved himself over there automatically. Fair enough. There is a very real risk that he might try and cultivate a field that we don't own, field 46, which would not be good for local farmer relations if he starts attacking someone else's fields. So let's go down and make sure we've got this bottom bit tagged, because there is a gap. See, our slurry tank's just stopped And he's stopped in an awkward position, which means I think I might have another little bit that needs to be done. I'll have to check that in a second. Oh no, he has come all the way down, look. Oh, look at that. That's impressive. I was not expecting that at all. Alright, well, let's just get rid of the map. Let's put a manual headland in this way, because you can see there is a little bit he's missed there, and obviously a patch in front there that he's missed as well. And that's because A, the bank, B, the road, and in that case there, C, the telegraph pole as well. So, yeah, we'll do a strip along the bottom, and then we'll go up on the far side of the field there, and that way he's not going to encroach onto the neighbouring field, and he should just work within the boundaries of this field. And there will be patches that we'll have to come and manually sort out, because, you know, he's going to struggle with the island bit, so he'll kind of stop and start and miss big chunks out and awkward angles, so we'll have to tidy all that stuff up after him. But yeah, at least we can get that done. So I'll get him restarted, and then we'll check out what's going on with the slurry spreader. See why that has suddenly stopped. Oh, and if anyone's wondering why I'm currently on ×1 as opposed to ×5, I had real life overlapped for a moment. I forgot to pause the game. I took a phone call and you know, stopped what I was doing, and time just ticked on. So I'm just doing this just for a few minutes, just to reset time back to the parity of where it should be. So I'll be switching that back to ×5 in a couple of minutes. Right, let's check the slurry spreader. Yeah, look, see, he did just stop there. Can I get him to restart again? No. You see, this is what I was worried about, and that might be because of the tree. Let's try him from the other end of the field. See if I can convince him to do that. If not, I'm going to have to go and put some slurry in this just to do that thin strip, and come back and do it manually. Let's see. Yep, managed to convince him to start from this end. So just do this little patch here, and then that's our slurrying done for the day. I'm kind of disappointed, as I say, that we could only get the one field done, and we're already tapping into our reserves at the cow farm now. You can see that total is going down. It's going down at a fair old rate as well. So so much for stockpiling our slurry. We're using some of it up already. There we go. So we'll have to put this away now until the end of winter, when we can break it out and do some more slurrying, finish these fields off. We've got no more cultivating that needs to be done after field 50 either. So now it's just kind of getting things prepped over winter, watching the markets, selling our crops, selling our silage at the BGA once that's been compacted and fermented, and then, you know, the slurrying will start end of winter, beginning of spring, and then the planting shortly after that. So yeah, we're kind of running low on things that need to be done now. There's not a lot left. Where is this guy? There he is. Okay, so let's switch time back now. That's had enough time to kind of catch back up. There we go. Yeah, when you're sitting just not doing anything for 15 minutes at ×5, that eats up a huge amount of your time. So running at ×1 just helps to claw some of that back a little bit. Right. Tip in. I've done 5. Is it 5 or is it 6 trailers? It might be 6. But I've done a complete width all the way across the BGA. So we're now into the part where we've got less than not enough space to do full empties with each trailer. So we're going to have to really kind of be a little bit clever with with how we tip the remaining grass. So I'll see you back at the BGA in just a moment. There we go, so 5 tips. There's 5 tips there, so yeah, we need to kind of start really squashing this stuff in now as best we can. This is where it gets awkward, trying to back the truck up here but not get it wedged so that I can actually get it back off again. Oh, there we go, that's just about managed it. So here we go. This thing is really starting to fill up now. I wonder how much we've got in here. I'm really curious, but I'm not going to look until we've finished the field and we actually come up here with the Magnum and the blade, so we can start, you know, compacting it up and then, or squashing it up and then start, you know, flattening it out. There's a good amount of silage in here, as you can see. There we go. So yeah, it's really filling up quite a lot. That's going to be a mountain of silage to sell later in the year. Oh, just clip that tree. So a big potential windfall that we're sitting on. I wonder what the price is like actually at the moment. Just curiosity. 422, and that'll go up. So tends to hover around the 4 to 450, maybe 500 mark, somewhere in that kind of region. So we should get a decent, you know, amount of money. And again, we'll try and do that all in a continuous tip with use of conveyors and strategic shoveling, I suppose is the term to use. It's going to be awkward because normally I do this with an open-ended bunker, and of course we've got closed bunkers on this map here, so the usual tactic won't be quite so easy to do with a full bunker, or at least a nearly full bunker. But we'll figure something out. We'll get it sorted. We're going to run 2 belts as well, rather than just a single belt, so that we can process twice as much on ×5, and still not fill up the tank. And if the price fluctuates, the price fluctuates. You know, it's not going to fluctuate that much. I've been watching the silage prices a lot over the past year, and they haven't really varied that much. It's only gone up and down by a little bit. So the important thing will be not to break the flow. If we break the flow, the price will plummet, because we'll have tipped potentially quite a lot before it stops, and then that drop will probably knock at least $100 off the price. So we need to avoid doing that where at all possible. Right, Mower's at the top of the field. We'll park just here and wait for him to come back down and carry on working away. This is it. This is the final load of grass. So that's 8 trailers. Well, 7.5. We had about 30,000 left in this one, and the obligatory a little bit left over that never wants to do anything. I wonder if I can tip this straight into the sell point. Every now and again, you always get that little bit of grass that just refuses to go in. I mean, the great thing about seasons is I could just dump it and it would, you know, it'll rot away and I won't have to worry about it. But let's see if I can at least just... No, it won't take it there. Okay. So we'll just plonk it on the ground there. That'll rot away reasonably quickly. It's only 7 litres, that shouldn't last too long. So now we just need to wait for the Magnum to finish cultivating away on field 50, and once that's done we'll bring it up here with the plough, well, I'd say the plough, with the blade, and we'll start squashing that up, getting it all compacted and hopefully blanketed before the end of the day. I think we should be able to do that. We'll also do a check and see just how much we've got in there, because that's it. No more mowing needs to be done. No more mowing really available. I mean, there's bits of grass that we could go out and we could find that are technically unclaimed land, but I think we've got enough. I mean, that bunker's pretty full. It's not quite at capacity, but it's not far off. So there's got to be well over 3 million litres in there now. I'd say probably pushing 3.5. I mean, with what, 7.5 trailers today, we've put in, let's see, we put in around 420,000 litres or so today alone, not counting what we put in yesterday and what was already in there. So yeah, that's an awful lot of silage that we're going to have to shovel, and we still got a whole ton of it here at the farm as well. Not only do I still have some wrapped bales left, obviously we'll have to mix up another large batch of TMR, but I've still got all that silage in the bunker as well, so we're good for silage here at the farm. We're not going to need any now until next year, sort of summer next year, I think. So all that's kind of left for us to do now is just get the bunker prepared, and you know, that's pretty much all that's left. It's the last job of the year now, other than getting the cultivating finished. How is he doing? Not too bad. You know, obviously there's a section there that needs to be done, and then the little fiddly bits around the islands themselves, but yeah, not too much longer, and then we can put the blade on this, lunk it all the way over to the BGA, and get that bunker compacted and wrapped. So the cultivating has been finished, and we are now making our way over to the BGA. I've got the blade attached at the front, as you can see. It's a bit steep angle. There we go. Beacons on, because we are a bit of a hazard, not just with the blade on the front, but also with the twin wheels as well. Makes us quite wide. So beacons on for when we hit the road. I do like the way we get lights on the edge of the blade as well. I think that's kind of cool. I wonder if they have brake lights fitted as well. Nope. Just rear red lights. I'm going to nip out in front of this guy. There we go. Right, so this is where we need to be careful. We could do some serious damage to to an oncoming car if we just clip it. And our own tractor for that matter as well. Full-on head-on impact, or well, I say a head-on impact, a side-on impact, where the edge of the blade clips the edge of the car, could actually rip the blade off the front linkage completely, cause major damage and very expensive repairs. So we'll be careful, erring on the side of caution. It's getting quite dark, as you can see as well. Sun's gone completely. And I'm really curious as to just how much chaff we're going to have in the bunker. We'll find out in a moment. Once we get there, I'll pull up the menu so we can have a look. See, all the spotlights are on the bunkers, makes it nice and easy to see. go. And that's what's facing us, a mountain of chaff. So let's have a look and see just how much we have in here. 3.1 million litres. That's a lot. And it's 49% compacted already. That's excellent. So, lights on full. Open the blade out. Let's start pushing this material back. So I want to engage a low cruise control speed. And start shoveling this stuff back. And once it's all kind of pushed up, then I can basically just spend a couple of hours just driving in circles on the top of the pile there to help get it all nice and flat and compacted. Trying to get in all these gaps. There we go. This is going to take me a little while, so I'll carry on with this and I'll catch up with you once I'm done. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the way that's all been condensed. So now it's time to just start compacting. So I'll drop the blade off just there. Get up on top. There we go, and we are at 52% compaction. So let's see, having twins does put a wider turning circle on. Can I make a full circle? Should be able to. Yes, I can. Fantastic, as long as I start in the right place. Touch more speed. Excellent stuff. So this is me now for however long it takes to get this compacted, just kind of driving around in a circle like this. It'll take a while, but it will compact this entire bunker down. So I'm going to end it here before I cause mass nausea and dizziness amongst you, my viewing public, watching me spinning on the spot here. So yeah, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. This is the final day of autumn. When we come back, we'll be into winter. We'll do a little bit of work on the farm, but essentially there's not much that's going to happen now for the next couple of days until we get into our crop windows. And we start selling off our grain. So that's probably where we're going to pick up. We'll probably skip over the first couple of days, and I'll just tend to the animals and stuff in the background and mix up a bit of TMR, and I will rejoin you when we come to sell our grain. So as I say, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Joe Bob, and I will be back with some more Lone Oak Farm very soon.